Hi guys, and welcome to What's on Our Radar. I'm Kid, and today I'm joined with my special guest, Godfrey. How's it going, Godfrey?
Hello, it's good to be here. I'm doing very, very wonderfully well. Thank you so much for asking, Kid. And how are you doing?
Lovely, lovely. I'm doing great. I'm so happy that we're finally doing this again.
Oh, honestly.
Since our last recording.
Yeah, my gosh, when was that? If I'm not mistaken, that was around the time that
That's a good question.
Shang-Chi was released, because that's what we were talking about, yeah?
So like September, wasn't that? September.
Oh, Lord, that was like... That's 3 months ago. September, October, November, December.
It was,
Or
yes.
4. I mean, if you might count that. That was like,
Yeah.
wow. It is currently like
Yeah.
getting to mid-December now. Oh, jeez. Oh, but,
True. But I'm guessing that's a good thing because I'm sure we have a lot to discuss that we haven't discussed, in
That's
a
true.
minute.
That's true.
Yes.
According to our show
Yeah.
notes, we don't have that much to discuss, but I'm pretty sure they're just gonna roll in once we start talking, like they always do.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, absolutely,
Yes,
absolutely.
for sure. Thank you. But thank you again for joining me. You guys know Godfrey. You guys are familiar with Godfrey. He runs his YouTube channel, The Anxious Coconut, which you can visit in the link. Check out his vlogs. And he also runs a podcast. You are the co-host and co-creator of the Not Culture podcast with Dan.
Yay. Thank you. Yes, I am. We just started that
Yeah.
recently, and it's
Yes.
been a wild ride, and I'm so happy I'm doing that, and I'm so happy I'm jumping onto this one to
Lovely.
help out once again as well.
Thank you. Well, I mean, when it comes to Not Culture, right, you've
Mm-hmm.
recently hit a major milestone, I believe.
Oh gosh.
You guys have increased your I saw your stats on your Insta.
Oh, I mean,
That's pretty good considering. I mean, you have 14 episodes, which is
Yeah.
pretty good.
According to my analytics, I've reached about 8
Yeah.
countries. I know that it's more than that.
So good. That's so good.
Apparently, I don't have that many listeners who come back, but I do have lots of listens on my episodes, according to Anchor's
That's good.
analytics. But yeah, it's been great. I've
Yeah.
just been, I just wanted to join the Spotify Wrapped hype and release that, while it was still trending. So
Yeah.
might have been on the tail end of that,
Sure.
but I'm happy that I got to. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys discuss a variety of different topics. I believe the recent one you posted was about the video game awards, was it?
Absolutely, yeah. So they just came up, the video games happened last week Friday, and then I managed to watch it, and
Nice.
it was just amazing to see a lot of people really passionate about this art getting the recognition that they deserve. And I wanted
Cool.
to talk about that on the podcast, and it comes under what we do at Not Culture as well, just video games and pop culture and everything that isn't really about the culture of where I am. It's kind of an ironic thing. It's a play on words, the name.
Sure.
It'll take me forever to explain.
Sure.
But, you get it, right? Yeah.
No worries. But like I said, if you guys are fans of video games and pop culture, please go check out Godfrey's podcast, the Not Culture podcast. It's available on all platforms and it's free to listen to. So please support and go listen.
Yay, thanks so much.
Awesome. All right. Yes. So we have a few things that we're going to discuss today.
Yes, we do.
And the first being Dune. Yes.
Sorry. It's
I finally got to see it here. I'm so sorry.
No.
For those who don't know any context, Godfrey got to see it. You got to see it quite early.
I did. I got to see it at the...
Right?
I think in the
Yes.
middle of... September even? No, not
September as well?
October.
Yeah.
No.
yeah.
I saw it at the...
I think it was September.
No. I remember now. I saw it at the tail end of October, or
Okay.
middle of November, around then. Yeah. That's when I
Yeah.
decided to
Yeah.
pick it up, and that's when I not pick it up like it was a choice. That's when, for some reason, it was showing here at Paradise Cinema, so I finally went to go see it, and then I had to keep very, very quiet until
You did.
yeah, I didn't want to spoil it. I didn't
Until-
want to talk about it because it just felt unfair. I knew we had to talk about it before we could before I got my thoughts out. So I'm so glad that it finally got to where you are, Kid, and you managed to
Yes.
watch it. Yeah. So
Yes, I did very recently. So we got it December 2nd here in Australia. But seriously, bless you, you're a legend for waiting this long. I'm so sorry
No
you had
worries.
to go through that. But we're finally here. We get to discuss it now.
no worries. If anything, that just gave me the chance to sort of push it to the back of my mind, even though that was really difficult after that
Okay.
first viewing. And then just
Sure,
a
I can
couple nights
imagine.
ago, just a couple nights ago, I managed to just watch it again, and it was almost like
Yeah.
watching it for the first time, except that this time I was like actively taking notes, and because of that, it took me like 7 hours to get through it because I just had to go through it so slowly, and like make sure that I wrote down
Sure.
every point that I could. So I'm glad that I had that.
And I've seen your
experience.
list.
I mean,
It's so comprehensive.
Thank you. I
You
tried my
you
best.
really did sit down and really think about things and write down your thoughts.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just, I mean, with something
Yeah.
like this, I've been carrying these thoughts around for like the better half of probably 15 years now. So yeah,
gosh, God,
I'm
true.
glad that they're coming out onto paper now. Now that we have something like this adaptation, which was, I want to say it was really good. It
Yeah.
definitely surprised me, even though.
Definitely, same.
Like, even though I'm a really big fan of Villeneuve as a director, I know we both are,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
I was expecting I was expecting to be blown away, but then when I saw it, it surprised me in very good ways. And I think
Yeah.
definitely they picked the right person to handle this reboot, to handle this adaptation.
True.
And the fact that he's like
True.
split it up into two films, the fact that this is like only half of the book,
Yes.
I like that. I like that he understands that, you know,
Yeah.
just compared to, like, he had to do obviously a lot of cutting and a lot of compressing to make this first half even possible, but the fact that he did, and it's just for the first half, I do want to just, you know, give props to him. Amazing.
Amen,
And,
true.
yeah, definitely. Once again, they picked the right guy for this movie, and I'm so happy that it's
Agreed.
finally here. And I think one of the biggest things that I'm like the happiest about is that
Yes.
it's doing well critically, because
True.
yeah,
Yes.
compared to
True.
his last film, which, correct me if I'm mistaken, his last film was Blade Runner 2049, right?
Oh, it was, yes.
Yeah, so his
I
last
think
film,
so,
Blade Runner
yes.
2049. I mean, okay, yeah, that's the last big one I remember. Unless it was Arrival. No, I'm pretty sure it's 2049. Yeah, but oh yeah, both
Yeah,
of those.
2049.
I mean, both of those were. Sorry, I didn't put my stuff on like silence. Sorry, both of those were.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
Sorry, both of the Blade Runner and Arrival, they were met really well, like critically really well. The critics loved these films, but then audiences couldn't get into it. They didn't really. It didn't sit well with them, so audience scores weren't that great, and the film didn't rake in like both of those films didn't rake in too much at like the box office. But then that was something that I was really worried about going into Dune, because in the back of my head I was just constantly hoping, oh my gosh, I really hope this film does well with audiences, so then people actually like it and people go to see it and people buy tickets and it makes a lot of money, because obviously Hollywood and the production houses and distribution houses, all the only language they do speak is in money. So when people go see the movie, they encourage
true.
more movies like that. So
Right.
yeah, so when this came around and like the audience reception was really good, I sort of
Yeah.
I sort of let out a really big sigh of relief when that happened, because I was just so happy.
Aw.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
in my head, I knew it was going to be really good. I just hoped that it was good enough for audiences to pick out and start watching and understand. I think while watching, during my first viewing, this was in like mid-November or something, when I first started the movie, in the back of my head constantly I was just thinking, oh my gosh, I hope people are actually understanding this right now. Oh my gosh, I hope people are actually liking this movie right now. Because that was just me throughout the entire thing, because I wanted so bad for this movie to actually just do well, because then that will encourage more. And thank God that it did, because we've already been greenlit
Seriously.
a sequel to this, obviously.
A second? Yes.
Yeah. I mean, which really shouldn't be a surprise, because if you've seen the beginning of the movie, Villeneuve had the balls to put the title Dune Part 1. So like
Part 1.
better given the man a sequel, or else what, I don't know, but I'm just really glad.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Happy. I'm happy that happened.
Lovely.
I'm sorry, I feel like I've been rambling. Kid, what did you think of Dune?
Yeah, like just a general overview of it. Just I went with a friend who knows nothing about Dune, like absolutely nothing, hasn't read the source material, and I was so curious to hear what he would say, because when I watched it, like you said, I loved it. I was just constantly like looking to him to see if he was getting it, or like like there'd be points where usually I don't like to talk in the cinema, but I'd be like I was being so annoying in the cinema.
Right.
Like, did you get that?
Oh yeah, no,
and he'd be
that.
like, yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. And so finally at the end of it, we walked out and he was like, oh my god, like I really loved it. And I was like, oh, I'm so happy to hear that. Like he actually understood what was happening and where it was going, and even like all the little nuances, he was picking up on those things. And so that's what I was really happy about. Yeah, so I think it, like you said, it did so well. Like it did the book justice. And comparing it to, I don't want to compare it to like David Lynch's version. I mean, I respect David Lynch's version. I truly do. I feel like for the time that it was made, I think he was so like brave and bold to put out that 1984 version. I love it. Like I enjoyed it. Still.
Okay, yeah.
Even watching it again, it's fun. Like but yeah, man, Denis Villeneuve, like he really knew what exactly were the key points to put into this movie and how exactly to visually tell that.
Yep.
Yeah.
That comes through 100%. I think before this all started, I don't know when it was. I can't really remember put a date on this, but I do remember when it was announced that he would helm a adaptation of Dune. I was extremely happy. But then I found out that he's actually been a fan of Dune ever since he was little. I think that was the thing that made me hype so much about this movie. Like it's not only that we're getting a live action adaptation to one of probably my favorite books of all time, but we're getting that adaptation by someone who has also grew up with that. Okay, maybe I can use the term grew up like quite lightly, but like he understands where it comes from, because he's just as passionate about the source material as like the fans are, and like to an extent he's a fan as well. This is work of someone who's extremely passionate about that universe, and it comes through. I'm so glad about that. About David Lynch's version, I think it's okay. It changes a lot of things. Probably not for
it does actually.
It does. But for when it came out, I thought it was great as well. Obviously just a few things that had me annoyed, but I think for this one, Villeneuve really knew where to, if any, like inject camp, if anything. It's just
true.
Yeah, compare this one to
That's
Lynch's version, and this version is a lot. Like I don't want to. Maybe I've been using this word too much lately, but like it's a lot more grounded and a lot more gritty and a little bit more real. Like I've seen
definitely
just a couple screenshots of the two, and like the color palette is just crazy off, because Lynch's was so bright, and it was almost like there's just way too much lighting everywhere, which was
it was very like fantastical in like not that Denis isn't fantastical as well. It's just what am I trying to say?
I think they I think they addressed the word fantastical in different ways. Definitely from Villeneuve's.
That's a better way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, definitely through Villeneuve's side, he injects a lot of science fictionness into it, which is like obviously I think what the series has needed all along. Lynch went full on almost camp with it, and I guess some people like that, some people
very
didn't.
camp.
Yeah, super camp, but I guess it did well for some people. I know it didn't do well critically at all, which is why
Yes, that's true.
it's I think I've heard this from one of his interviews. It's one of probably it's the movie he likes the least that he's made. It's like he's not exactly proud of it. It's another one of those stories about studio intervention getting in the way, and he wasn't able to tell a story that he wanted to, and I think they rushed him for this. Yeah. So I think comparing that situation now to Denis Villeneuve's adaptation, where they're letting him split it into two films, the first thing that, and they've let him work on this for over the past 4 or 5 years, I think, probably now.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah,
ever since it was announced, and I think now more than ever, studios are understanding that they can have very negative impact when they try to get in the way or interfere with an artist's work. I mean, you look at things like Zack Snyder's Justice League, and all of these. Well, okay, like I can mainly point to some of the DC movies, but I'm pretty sure there are others. But I think they're learning from that, and they're allowing more creative freedom from their creators. So, I guess just based on that, it's really good timing, I suppose, that we've got this version from Villeneuve, and you could definitely see the fruits of that come to fruition. That was a terrible sentence, but I'm glad that it's popular, and I'm glad all the kids are making memes out of it, and I'm glad it's like spreading like wildfire. And like I think for a solid week when it was released, I saw all those people just posting random screenshots from a movie with a desert, and then say like, "Oh, I'm gonna tell my kids this was Dune 2021" or something like that. And, it made me laugh, but I was so happy that like people are responding to it like that. Because when something like this goes into pop culture and people start making memes of it and making fun of it, you can tell that it's actually going to gain popularity, and it's gaining momentum through, I guess, an audience. And I was really happy to see that. And
absolutely,
I thought it was great. Sorry, you were saying I don't want to.
No, that's okay. No, for sure. Like I recently, like 2 days ago, I went to Dimmicks, which is like a bookstore here, and I went to buy another copy of Dune, because I was going to buy it for a friend and like annotate it and then give it to them, because they don't like reading. So I was hoping that would, make the experience a bit better. But yeah, I went up to the cashier, and she, as soon as she saw the book, she was like, "Oh my god, like we've tripled in sales." For the books. So people it's not just exactly Dune is gaining like new traction, new fans, and I love it, man. There's just so much hype, and I love the feeling of it.
Absolutely.
Like, that other people are also getting into it, because I feel like they're going to feel like how I felt when you first introduced me to Dune. It's that sort of like, I love that feeling. Yeah.
It's incredible, and it's so heartwarming to know that even after the movies come out, that it's great to know that the physical copies of the books are just blowing up in sales, because obviously this isn't a perfect adaptation. Like if people had the option, I'd throw both of these at them, because I want them to them to watch the movie and see how beautifully shot it is, and how Villeneuve how he builds his worlds and how he uses expositions. And I want people to compare that to the book, which is extremely heavy in exposition. But me, when I was reading it, it never felt pandering, or it never felt annoying or like a slog. I think something that both of them do, and I think something that Villeneuve takes away from the books really well in terms of how he made the movie, is just efficient exposition. That's I think one of my main takeaways. It's one of my biggest it's one of my biggest, oh god, no, I can't say it again. It's one of my most favorite things about this adaptation. It's the way that Villeneuve handles exposition. He never seems to do it clumsily, and like the scenes he does remove, or the scenes that he does add, they're done with purpose. And you can tell this definitely from, I'd say, the first 30 minutes of the entire movie. There's just so much exposition just crammed into that, like that first half quarter. It's a 2 hour movie, so quarter.
Yes.
Yeah. So like the first quarter of the movie, there's so much exposition crammed into that, but you rarely think it's too much to absorb, because it's he knows how to efficiently do this with storytelling and with his dialogue, and B, also he knows how to do this with the camera. He knows how to do it visually as well. He knows how to tell the stories with the shots that he chooses. And I think that was the most, like I said, is the coolest thing, how all of these three methods of presenting exposition, they just come together really, really, really seamlessly in this first 30 minutes of the movie. And I thought that was masterful. Obviously, the rest of the movie isn't really that exposition heavy. It just goes on to handle the main drama of the story, which I thought did really well, considering that it is only technically half of the book story, the first book story, I thought it did it fantastic, and I cannot wait to see how he tackles the second one. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Seriously. What do you think about how a lot of people are talking about how part 2 will be a lot more Chaney centered, or focused on through her eyes, or a little bit more in her perspective? I've been hearing that a lot. What do you think about that?
I think it might be a smart idea.
Considering what we've seen now.
Yeah. I'd say I think it might be a smart idea, because this first book is obviously, this first movie is obviously, it's all Paul's story. It's like almost 98 or 95% of the plot is told through his eyes. You obviously get the scenes with the Duke, and you get the scenes, okay, maybe 98 is too high, let's say 90, like 90% of the plot is told through his eyes. So this is, like, you could definitely tell that this is his story. This is what he has to do to become this person that his father has always wanted him to be. And also, it makes sense financially, like for the second one. That they'd bring Zendaya on just to have this story a little bit more anchored around her and how she's going to perceive Paul. I think that's going to be an interesting way to look at it, handle that. The second half. I don't want to spoil the book too much. Or what do you think? Do you think we should spoil the book? I don't know. But
I don't know. That's a good question. Should we like discuss it and then you decide when you edit?
Oh,
I don't know.
You know what? I know that we're gonna split this up into like different videos, so I think we can spoil it on a lot more in that one. Yeah, I'd say.
Okay, cool.
So
Cool.
in this one, I think I'll just leave it at there. I think it's going to be an interesting case to see how Paul at the end of, mostly at the beginning, mostly in the middle of the first movie, he starts to the way he starts to perceive himself changes based on his visions. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that looks through another character's point of view, through an external point of view. And I wonder if that's going to try and deconstruct that trope of the white savior, which is something that the books handle like really, really well. And I'd like to see if, in order to reach that, goal in terms of the storytelling and exposition, if Villeneuve is going to change something or do something drastic like that just to get that point across. I've noticed that he's done that a lot in this first movie, where he had to change a lot of things in order to make sure that the audience gets the main point of a scene first and foremost. And he wanted to make sure that doesn't go over their heads, but not to a point where it becomes pandering and annoying and like they're trying to shove things down our throat, trying to shove exposition, which thank God it never resorts to. But it's I guess with something like this, having the story, changing the focus of the story to Chani. It's weird. It's so weird. In my head, the whole time I pronounced the name as Chaney for some reason. God, sorry. I'm trying to pronounce it how they do in the movie.
Same.
Yeah.
I always say Chaney.
But
yeah, it is Chani, isn't it? In the movie,
so
I was surprised. I was like, oh, Chani.
That's okay. I have a nitpick about that, but I can't do that here. We'll probably do that in the review.
No.
But something that I've noticed is that it's going to be interesting to see how he shifts the perspective or the focus of the story to Chani and her perception of Paul, because if he wants to drive home some of the points that are made in the latter half of the first book. And but hey, at this point I fully trust Villeneuve. He can take us on this magical journey that I think I'm familiar with, and then something like this happens and I'm like, ooh, interesting, there could be other ways to tell this incredible story. So I'm all for that. I think it would make sense, especially in this medium, if you want to play around with perspective and this trope. That would be a pretty cool way to handle it.
By the way, guys, we are going to record a separate video with our review and discussion about Dune 2021. So, hopefully, by the time you're watching this, we'll link it. It'll probably be filmed and edited.
Yes.
We'll see.
We'll see. No promises on that.
No pressure, Godfrey. Yeah.
All good.
But it will be coming soon. It will be coming soon.
Yeah. All right. So,
Nice.
Kid, what else did you want to speak about in today's what's on our radar? Anything else that's on our radar? I hear there's a pretty good movie coming out at the end of this week. Did you want to talk about that?
I hear that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, in a couple of days, if I might not add, that's what, 4 days, 3 days? I know. My God, Spider-Man: No Way Home is finally being released in the next couple of days. Oh my gosh.
Ooh, I'm hyped and scared and excited.
Yes.
And nervous and all of the above, and I have since I have just cut off all of the No Way Home new trailer stuff that I've been seeing everywhere. I just can't see that anymore because I don't want any more to be spoiled for me before I actually go see the movie on Thursday.
I get you.
But that's all right. Hey, we get the movie like one day before the rest of the world, technically. Hey.
Really?
Yeah, apparently, yeah, because it goes internationally at December 17th. So.
Oh wow, yeah. Thank God we live in the Southern Hemisphere.
Honestly, yep. I've never been so happy to live in the Southern Hemisphere. It's fantastic. Lord, Jesus, I think I've talked about this movie so much with Dan. I just don't know if there's anything new I can bring up apart from the fact that this is probably every Spider-Man fan's childhood coming into fruition, and it's going to be incredibly. I don't want to jinx it, so I'm just gonna say it's gonna be a movie. Kid, what do you think? What are you hoping to see in this?
Oh my God! See, when you ask me that, like, I just have this like this overwhelming feel. Like, I don't know really. Like you, I've been staying away from a lot of the marketing material as well, and from any sort of like early reviews or early predictions, things like that. So I recently watched the 2 other Tom Holland Spider-Man movies as well beforehand.
Nice.
Recently, and then I want to do like, obviously Spider-Man 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Tobey Maguire Spider-Man as well. I do have to say I didn't enjoy, what was it, Far From Home? Because that's the last Spider-Man, right? Before this one, right?
Yep, it's the second one.
So I'm sure they'll, I'm sure it'll be much better than that. I just I don't know who's directing this though. Is it the same guy?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the same.
A different team?
It's I'm pretty sure it's the same guy. Let me just quickly run by the Google machine, but I'm very sure it's the same guy because he's been handling this entire the new trilogy, the MCU trilogy for Spidey.
Cool.
So, John Watts, yes.
No worries, no.
So it's definitely
John Watts?
the same director as the first, as Homecoming and Far From Home.
Okay.
But I do share your sentiment that I didn't enjoy Far From Home as much. I think the saving grace of that movie for me was definitely the final act. I thought it was so it was incredible. It was incredible. I really did like Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio. I thought it was perfect. Oh my gosh, everyone was falling for him until that reveal. Sorry, spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen Far From Home, but
that's true.
My gosh, it was. I think everything after that is just when the movie started to finally pick up, because it just seemed like for half of it, it didn't really know what to do exactly, and then for the next half, it's like, okay, now we know what we're doing. Yes, it's he's actually bad, and now Tom has to fight him and get Edith back, and it's all that. And I thought that was great. The fight on the bridge, it was amazing. When he's inside the bridge and when he's being trapped by the drones and he has to use the spider sense to get out.
Oh yeah.
That was great.
Oh yeah.
I really like how long they took to introduce his spider sense in this in the MCU. Like they didn't rely on that at all in Homecoming, actually. And
actually, that's true.
yeah. Because
You're right.
in Homecoming, he's got the suit for most of it, and that's the thing that helps him out. It's like a Spidey sense substitute in Homecoming, and
Right.
I wouldn't say I enjoyed that.
So now I was just gonna say probably the only other time was in Endgame, was it? When he's on the bus and then we see the tingle.
Oh,
But I
that,
think
yeah.
that's the only other time, right?
I think that, and at the end of Infinity War, where he feels like, oh, I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark, and then he disappears. I think I read somewhere that only he and Mantis could have felt it coming because of their extra sensory abilities, like Spidey with his
Wow.
Spidey with his spider sense and Mantis with her antenna or something. Yeah. So that's like the explanation for that one. But yeah, I thought that being held off and used in the final act for this movie. I mean, for Far From Home, I thought it was perfect. I thought that final showdown was incredible. And every time I rewatch the movie, I'm kind of just like blanking out for the first half until the end of it, where he finds he learns the truth and he has to go after Mysterio. And I thought that was great. But I really did.
I love that.
I really did enjoy Homecoming. It's up there as one of my favorite Spider-Man movies.
Oh yes.
Like I would go
Same.
Spider-Man. Like my official hierarchy, I'd put like Spider-Man 2. For obvious reasons, Homecoming, and then Spider-Man 1, and then no wait, oh gosh, I'm getting mixed up. I actually wrote this down somewhere, but no, I'll just try and remember it from memory. It's definitely Spider-Man 2, Homecoming, Into the Spider-Verse, and then Spider-Man 1, and then Spider-Man 3, and then Amazing Spider-Man 1, Amazing Spider-Man 2. But I love them all so much. There's not really any Spider-Man movie that I dislike. I recently watched the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 movies again. I thought they were still the best shot Spider-Man movies, like the best looking. It's the
truly.
Yeah, those movies are like the attractive airheads in human form. Like they look nice, but you don't really want to engage in intellectual conversation with them. That's how I think of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 movies. But I really enjoyed. Sorry, no, if that was offensive, I'm sorry. I really enjoyed.
That was good.
Sorry, no, but I really enjoyed Garfield and Stone's chemistry throughout those two movies. I thought.
Same.
They were hands down the reason why I watched those movies. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. And I'm so glad that they exist. I really do think Garfield is a good Spider-Man in his own right. I like how much of a focus they went with
same.
Showing how smart Spider-Man is, showing how smart Peter is in those movies. And I liked how they they mashed that in with who he is as Spider-Man. I liked how we actually get to see him building his web shooters. I thought that was perfect. I thought that was really, really nice. Obviously, I have issues with the second one, like with Goblin, who they went to design like an actual goblin. I thought it was. It's just. I think that's as much as I have to say about those movies. I think if I ever to do a review, review. I'll probably talk more about them, but I think on the surface, not bad movies. I like them, especially the romance between the leads, or the chemistry between the leads. Yeah, this is weird. We just on a weird tangent on my favorite Spider-Man movies. How about you, kid?
That's okay.
What did you think about them?
Oh yeah, I agree with you. Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man. 2 is up there. Like obviously that's gold tier. But I have like such a soft spot for like Into the Spider-Verse, just purely because of the design and just even the soundtrack and I truly like. If there was ever a project that I had ever wanted to work on, I wish it would have been Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh my gosh, no, same.
It just seemed like such a creative, unique project to work on. I don't know. Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%. No, I definitely agree with you there. Into the Spider-Verse is incredibly special. Just everyone try ignore that one of my lights just lost battery. Into the Spider-Verse is incredibly.
I'm sorry.
Not here. Oh God, which way looks better? No, this way is better. I'll chop this out of the review.
Yeah, that looks good.
Thanks. Into the Spider-Verse definitely it wins hands down, just from the how incredible the art is. And how long did they take to make this one movie? Was it 6-7 years, or am I getting that mixed up with Arcane?
Yeah, actually,
yeah,
no,
they
I
took
think you're
so
right.
long to just develop the techniques.
I was
And
gonna Google. Yeah.
I mean, oh yeah, maybe I should Google. No, wait. Oh wait, I
Yes.
can Google. This thing
No,
is back online now. No, but yeah, they took crazy long to make the first movie and just polish the art style and the techniques that they used for it. And I mean, I always love when studios do that. They take their time and create something new and original and just groundbreaking, like literally groundbreaking. And this was
Yes.
one of those movies, and it definitely shows
For
from
sure.
the critical reception, the audience reception. This movie is just loved by
true.
everyone. I can't really find someone who
Yes.
has
yes.
said that they don't like this movie, because it is hands down
Same. Same.
incredible, and it's definitely up there.
Yeah.
It's definitely up there. Honestly, it's so good. But let me just quickly
Agreed.
Google how long
Have
it
you
takes.
have you you know, go ahead.
Sorry.
While you're doing that, have you seen the trailer for the latest installment? Because I haven't.
Oh, wait, you haven't? Oh my gosh. Okay. It doesn't reveal too
I've been
much.
staying away from that.
Wait, why?
Okay.
It doesn't reveal too much. That's the good thing about it. That's one of my favorite things about it. All it has is just if you don't mind me spoiling it, it's not too much. It's Miles just talking to Gwen
Okay, go ahead.
again
I trust you.
about, and then Gwen's just inviting
Yes.
him onto another adventure, and then he's swinging through dimensions, and then one big thing is that he's being attacked by Spider-Man 2099.
Spider-Man 2099.
Yeah, he showed up in the end credits
I'm-
for the
I'm
first
so-
movie.
I'm a bit lost.
He's voiced by Oscar Isaac. I forget his name.
Oh my God! Yes. Sorry. Yes. No,
So
you're
yeah,
right.
he shows up again, and apparently he's attacking Miles. I think.
Oh.
Yeah. All I can read from it is probably because he's dimension hopping or something, and then probably Spidey 2099 is not happy with that and is trying to take him down. But that's all that is revealed from that trailer, and the fact that it is part one
Interesting.
of a two-part story.
Oh.
If you didn't know that,
Oh my
yeah.
God, sorry,
So it's like
just flew into me. I know I didn't.
I'm
I
so
didn't.
sorry. So it's called
It's okay.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. That's what this one is going to be called. And I think it's releasing in 2023. So like another year wait.
Oh my God.
A year and a bit. No, 2 years. Oh, yeah.
Jeez. A year and a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my goodness.
so
Why are they releasing the trailer now? Is it going to have any connection to the up?
that's the thing. Why are they releasing it now of all time? Last week it was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, that's right. It was a couple weeks out from the premiere of No Way
Yeah.
Home.
Okay.
Unless, or maybe they're just capitalizing on the Spider-Man fever that's currently in the air. I wouldn't blame them as a
sure.
studio.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to allude to anything, but it from what we know so far already of No Way Home, it already has so many characters in it, and my gosh, a fear of mine is that the movie just has too many people, that it actually feels bloated, and I don't want that to happen with this of all movies. I'd like to believe that it has the right amount and it's perfect and it goes perfectly and swimmingly and everything about the movie is perfect and amazing, and I want to believe that.
Yeah.
But obviously,
Yes.
only time will tell. We'll see what happens.
True.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts on? Because you've seen the trailer, right? For what is it? Oh my God, my brain blanked again.
Don't worry. That happens to the best of us. It's
For
fine.
Far From Home.
Far From Home, yeah?
Is it Far From Home?
Oh, No Way Home.
Wait, what's No Way Home? Oh
The
my
new one.
God. See?
Don't worry about it.
Sorry.
It happens to the best of us.
So for Spider-Man, So for Spider-Man No Way Home, the trailer, you've seen it and you've reacted to it on your channel and you've reviewed it with Dan. Do you think, a lot of people have been wondering if Garfield's going to be in this one? Do you think he is, even though he's been telling the press that he isn't?
Oh, God, that's the thing. I would like to
And would
think.
you want for him to be in it?
I want
Okay.
them
Yeah.
all to be in it. I want them all so bad to be in this, honestly. I I want Maguire to come back, and I want him to fight Doc Ock, and I want Garfield to come back, and I want him to save MJ and get the redemption that he deserves. I want them all to have like a nice, good, like
Goosebumps.
battling of their demons, or something akin to that, where they come back and they just answer these unanswered questions that have been like left there for the last almost 20 years. I'd really like for that to happen. I honestly,
Wow.
I think they are. I want to say that they are. I honestly think that they are. And, someone like Garfield, I mean, the poor guy is just trying to run marketing for his new movie, Tick Tick Boom, which is, it's on my radar.
Yeah.
I really want to see that movie. But then, he's getting attacked and
Nice.
bombarded by all of these people who are questioning him about Spider-Man. It's like, oh my God, leave the poor man alone. He's talking about another movie. But, props to him for just like karate chop deflecting all the rumors and questions with such finesse and ease. Like, he's doing that so totally cool. Like, to the point where we're actually almost believing that he's not in this movie when it's just a complete flat out lie. We know he's
Right.
in this movie. I want him to be here. I really do. And I'm sitting... I'm sitting next to people. We've already bought our tickets for the seats and at the cinema. I'm sitting next to people who will actively...
Yes.
And possibly literally lose their shit if they see Toby and Andrew on screen. Like, I swear to God.
Oh my goodness.
I am possibly just going to start crying in my seat, just out of sheer happiness. If that happens,
Yes.
I'm gonna be really excited. I mean, just. Even if they're not,
I can imagine.
I'm still incredibly happy that we've got 3 villains from the original movies showing up. We've got Doc Ock, hands down probably my favorite villain. We've got Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, again, an iconic villain in his own right. And then we've got Electro from Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Jamie Foxx, yeah.
I'm glad he's getting a do-over in this one, and he looks like he looks a little more comic accurate, or at least comic accurate to the version of the comics that more people know him by. Because in some of the Ultimate runs, he does have blue lightning and he is bald. But with this one, I'm glad he's coming back, and he looks a little more like Jamie Foxx. If that comes across, yeah. But even if they're like I said, even if the 3 aren't in this. Even if the 3 Spideys aren't in this, or 2 extra Spideys in this, I'm still watching it just for Alfred Molina's Doc Ock. I'm still watching it for Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, just because I love them so much, and it's been almost 20 years since I've seen them, and I'm so happy that they're back reprising their same roles. And I also just want to know what happens. I'm really exciting. I'm really excited. Yes. Sorry about that.
Yeah. No, I love that.
How about you, though? Do you think...
In terms of...
Oh, sorry, yeah?
Yes. No. You first. I was still forming my thoughts. But go ahead.
Sorry. Allow me to just ask the one question. Do you think the 2 other Spideys, Garfield and Maguire, will make an appearance here? And how will you react? And what are you hoping to see from them? Are there any missing chapters, questions left unanswered that you want for this movie to answer specifically about them?
I don't know why. I just have a feeling I think they might be. I really do. If I'm wrong, I would... Oh, God. But no. I have I mean, it would make sense to have them... I mean, I guess you could do a story with just Doc Ock and... I mean, obviously the other villains you mentioned. But I just feel like Marvel's been on this thing where they're constantly being more ambitious with their projects. And I just have a feeling that... knowing them, I feel like they would go all out and actually, get the other 2 Spideys in this.
No,
that's just
agreed.
My feeling.
Yeah,
I think they would actually take it that far. Yeah. Oh, how I would react in the cinema. I don't know. It's. I think I'll just be smiling the whole way through. Really, I think like you, I'd just be overjoyed and.
That's it.
Oh God.
Pure joy.
I'd probably be want to watch it again after it's over, knowing me. Just like buy another ticket and sit in the cinema again.
That's what I'm scared of, honestly.
Just hope it never ends.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, it's a 2.5-hour movie, so it's a really good way to just like kill 5 hours in a day. So if you want to see it twice, there you go. There you go. I'm definitely down for that. True. I think on that Thursday, hopefully some work in the afternoon doesn't get in the way, but I'd really like to do that. I really would.
Oh, yes.
Yes, like one for just taking it in, the second
Nice.
one for actually analyzing it and taking notes, all that. Yeah.
Yes. No, true.
Absolutely.
Actually, that's a good way to watch movies. Is that how you usually watch movies?
Oh, God, no. It's like...
is that your
Sometimes... For a movie like this, it's definitely going to be my process. For a movie like Dune or something like that, where I'm just completely sold on it, I'm super excited. I'd like to see it, and then, and if I really do like it, I want to go back and just bullet point what makes me so happy about this movie or why it affected me so well, I guess, and so powerfully, I guess. It's just part of understanding.
Yeah.
Like, it's not only just reviewing the movies for me, it's more of why did I like this so much, and that's usually how I tackle most of my reviews in a way that's really personal, and it might not be it might be incredibly subjective, but I also like doing it that way, and I don't really want to become an objective reviewer of things. I'd like for people to know that I'm incredibly biased. But furthermore, here's why I'm biased. That's it's one of those things.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Fair enough.
But
yes.
Going back to your question.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was your question again? I'm so sorry. I drifted off. I usually go on tangents. Okay. I'm so sorry.
Just continuing what I said about Marvel being ambitious, have you seen The Eternals yet? No, right?
Oh gosh, I wasn't able to catch it. I've just been in such a work black hole in the last month, so I wasn't able to catch it there. I am just really quickly gonna check my local cinema if they're still showing, because then I definitely want to go see it, because it's also on my what do you call it? It's been on my watch list for so long. Like when I saw there we go. When I saw the trailer, it was definitely one of my most hyped for movies. And hey, it is still showing! Yay! I can watch that. Thank God.
Nice.
Okay, I'll probably catch that
cool.
sometime this week. And we could probably do another thing about it. Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because like I said, I won't spoil it for you, but I just feel like, based on The Eternals, based on Shang-Chi, it's like it's a very fresh, it's still the same things that we know Marvel does, like in terms of comedy and plot, but like it's done in a very, in a fresh way, I'd like to think.
Yeah.
I don't know, once you see Eternals, I feel like you'll see where I'm coming from.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it just makes sense that Marvel's in this phase where, I think after Endgame died down, I think they are looking for... I feel like there has been some of it has died down in terms of like traction or hype, because of it.
I'd agree, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I feel like them being more experimental will encourage viewers to go see the movies, and
absolutely. Yeah.
I just like you, I'd like to believe that they will have somehow incorporated the other two Spider-Men.
Absolutely. I think
that would be really lovely.
I think a really good
a great Christmas present too.
Oh yeah. No, 100%. Kids who are gonna go see this movie, I hope to God that in the cinema there aren't very many kids. If I had the money to book out that entire cinema hall, I would have, hands down. I swear to God. Sorry, just kids really bother me, especially in this setting. But they're cute and whatnot, I suppose. But what I was saying is, I think the perfect example of how Marvel has been stepping up in terms of experimentation, I think in this phase or in this year or the last 2 years, is definitely their Disney Plus television shows. Going on a completely new format. That's something incredibly new, and I think they've been. True. For me personally, I am enjoying the absolute hell out of all of them, including Hawkeye, which I've started, and I know we can't talk about that too much because you haven't seen it yet. Don't worry. We can catch up after that. If you manage to catch that, and I'll manage to catch Eternals, we can definitely talk about that later.
Sounds good. I'm gonna start watching tonight.
Yay! Okay. Let me know what you think. It's very, very cool. Christmassy and pleasant. I like it. Yeah. What else? Is there anything else you wanted to add to the hypeness of No Way Home?
I'm kind of glad we're seeing more Doctor Strange. I mean, these are just like small, tiny other notes.
Okay.
But yeah, I want to see how much he's, because I feel like he's such a difficult character now to show growth. Does that sound weird?
Oh yeah, that's
like
gonna
in
be
terms of
like
because
sorry,
yeah.
you say a thing first.
No, I just feel like the last time we saw him in Endgame, I felt like he was at a place where, as a person, it seemed like he had reached, like for growth. I didn't know if there was any more room for growth. I just felt like he was so mature. He's a very different Doctor, and that I don't know what other dimension, that they're going to add to him, his character.
That's a really
I don't know
good
if that's
point.
even important, but I mean, I would like to see some. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I think because in his first movie, that was like his complete arc, right? And after that, he only had that one movie,
True.
and then he joined the Avengers and did the thing, and came back or went up to in Infinity War, and then came back in Endgame, and he was already incredibly overpowered. And I don't know, like it's a really good point that I don't know if he has any good stories left. I mean, obviously there are really good examples of some stories where characters, they don't change. I don't know why, but the first thing that comes into my head is Back to the Future with Marty McFly. Is like there's a specific name for it's like a writing technique, I think, where you write a story about a character who doesn't change, and it's just he remains constant throughout the entire story. It's just like the people around him change, and he's sort of the audience's
Interesting.
like, what do you call that? A surrogate. He's the audience surrogate. But I don't know. That was the first example that came to my head. I'm so sorry. But with this, it might be something else. It definitely.
No, that was a good
Oh,
example.
thank you. I tried. But with this, it just seems like, just from what we've seen from the trailer, it seems like he's a little off. There's some parts where he looks powered up, and then for most of the movie, he's like he's not seen anymore, because as Sorcerer Supreme, he should be able to round up all these baddies and, like, literally like that. So
That's true.
yeah, unless something has happened, maybe he still has a little bit of growing to do. Maybe there's some sort of magic dampener happening. It's curious to see Doctor Strange in that position where he's not, or he has to tell other people to, and I quote, Scooby-Doo this. That's gonna be, sorry, Scooby-Doo this crap.
Yeah,
But
and I guess he's also getting a sequel too. So
yes,
they do have more to show of him. But yeah,
absolutely.
it'd be nice to see him again, because he's one of my favorites superheroes of the Marvel universe. So yeah.
Oh yeah, he's definitely something special. I really did enjoy his movie. Some say it's like a carbon copy to Iron Man, which in some aspects, like, obviously it is. You get, they're very similar characters.
Yeah.
In terms of how they had to change in order to be something that the world needed, or something better for themselves. So it was really cool to see how they incorporated all the mystical elements to the universe, and I enjoyed that. I really did. And I cannot wait for what do you call it, for Multiverse of Madness, which, if I can remember correctly, is being directed by Sam Raimi.
Ah, really?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure.
Oh my god.
Yes, it's Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi is the director of Multiverse of Madness.
Oh.
So I think we're gonna see some really good horror elements in this movie. So I mean, in that movie. So that's gonna be
Oh,
gonna be interesting.
Yeah. Shit. Man, Marvel's doing well. I mean, I just have to say. Fucking hell.
Marvel's doing really, really well. Man, I'll never understand those people who like don't see any like interest in the Marvel movies. Like, I guess I completely respect you. That's fine. It's fine. But like, they're really cool and fun, and maybe it's just me complaining.
They're
maybe
fun,
I sound like,
exactly.
Yeah, but like, I mean, it's probably just those Martin Scorsese types, which is fine. But I enjoy Scorsese movies. I mean, I didn't watch all of the Irishman, but it's on my watch list. It's like, it's a 4-hour movie. Like, give me a break, okay? I'll go back and watch it. I've got work to do as well. Haha. Yes. Apart from that, yes. But is there anything else you wanted to add to the hype train?
Not on my end. What about you?
No, I think that's about it.
Yeah.
I'm on my end. I'm actually going through another movie marathon of all of the Spider-Man movies just to prep.
Nice.
I'm actually gonna throw
Nice.
Doctor Strange in there into the mix as well, just to get a little dose of him as well, just to prep for this.
Ooh.
But then the biggest challenge
Yeah.
is finding the time to do that, and all my work and all my side work, and this too in between
True.
now.
Seriously.
In the next 2
You're a
days,
busy man.
it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
No, but I'm extremely happy and excited, and yeah, no, I wouldn't not do this for the world, so I'm happy.
I feel like we've touched on pretty much everything we wanted to discuss. Any final comments before we close off?
I am hype. I am so much hype.
Oh yeah.
I am
Oh,
the
yeah.
personification of hype for Thursday. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. The hardest thing for me is
True.
just probably going to be to keep my mouth shut until like the rest of my friends have watched this before I even start to make
See
content
it?
for this. Because that's gonna be interesting. I know.
Bless you.
We're definitely gonna release a Not Culture episode as early as Saturday by the
Yes.
looks of it, because I'm gonna have a free pocket of time
Nice.
that my co-host Dan Levi is gonna help me record, and then we'll be definitely out by the weekend, just so we could talk about this and just give our thoughts on it and whether or not it was everything that we hoped
Awesome.
for. But definitely looking forward to No Way Home. Had a really
Yes.
amazing great time with Dune. I can't wait to
Same.
make a lot more Dune related content with you, kid. That's gonna be so much fun.
Yes, likewise,
Yeah.
likewise. We definitely have a lot more Dune content coming up on the channel, so please, if you're a Dune fan, subscribe and stay tuned, because yes, we'll have a lot more new content for you. Exciting content, different content, hopefully, that you haven't seen on YouTube yet.
Absolutely.
You never know.
Unless you subscribe
Yes.
to Kid
But thank
and then
you.
watch all her videos.
Yes.
Yep. That's how
Oh
you'll
my
know.
god, and subscribe to the Anxious Coconut as well.
Oh, thank you.
Please subscribe
Thank
to the
you.
Anxious Coconut as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be
to
nice.
check out, especially your full review of Spider-Man as well, because you had already done that, a pretty in-depth one. Too.
Oh yeah,
You did both like a trailer reaction and a breakdown.
of the trailer. Yeah, we had to do that on the same day. It's just
Yes.
we
Yeah.
could not
Yeah.
avoid that. But yeah, if you guys are interested in that, you can go see
True.
that on The Anxious Coconut on YouTube, where Dan and I just break down the
Lovely.
trailer and go apeshit over everything we're seeing. It was really fun, and I can't wait. If I haven't said that enough already on this podcast, boy.
Oh no. Lovely. It's wonderful. I think that's where we're gonna end it off, guys.
Yay.
Again, big thank you to Godfrey, my special guest. You've always made these podcasts. Well, you've always made these. What do you call these? These
I want to call them a podcast.
Episodes.
Episodes. Yeah. I think that's a better, more accurate word.
You've made these episodes so entertaining, and I love your energy and having you around.
Aw,
So
thank
thank you for
you.
making the time again.
No worries. It's always a pleasure of mine just to join you into making one more and just talking about this stuff, because where I live, we barely have enough people who are on that same wavelength. So I'm always happy to reach out and help you and talk to you, because I love it and it's so much fun, and it makes me
Thank
forget
you.
that I'm living in
Bless you.
this country for a bit. And I cannot express my gratitude for that enough. So thank you, kid.
Thank you, Godfrey. Thanks, guys, as well for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. Please leave your comments, what you thought about Dune, what you're expecting from No Way Home. We read every comment. We love hearing your feedback, is what I'm trying
Absolutely.
to say. But yes, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye,
Bye,
guys.
everyone.